And so today we're going to be showcasing one of the newest, hottest, and spiciest character in Bleach player souls, that being the new Swimsuit 2023 version of Rangiku. Not only does she look absolutely stunning, she is an amazing character, which we're hopefully going to demonstrate that in today's video. If you got her, I'll say right from the get-go, congratulations. She is going to be a great character to have, basically for the rest of the year. But why exactly is that? Well, for starters, she herself is a hot Soriba with the Hollow Kill ability. Now, for those that aren't aware, there aren't that many good hot Hollow Killers out there, and we've been desperately needing new characters that fit this particular niche. Now, less than 2 months ago, we did just get Bruno, but having more options is always a great thing. Now, what you're going to notice about this Rangiku is that she is a farming character. So for starters, let's focus on those particular aspects of the character. By using her, you're going to be getting 5 additional Super Link Swap Potions, 5 additional Mind Link Swap Potions, 30% more Mind Droplets, and also increase the amount of coins you get by 70%. She is the first character in the game to get all 4. Although I will admit, the coin drop isn't like that amazing. It's whatever to me. But she has the main 3 farming skills: Link Swap Potions, Super Link Swap Potions, and also Droplets. That therefore means you can take it into IT, you can take it into IZ, and of course you can take it to Epic Grades to get that extra bit of value. But let's focus on the IT part of the character, Inheritance Trials. It's kind of a hard mode, especially when a character wants to be used there. How good is she going to be in this particular quest? Well, the way they designed her, she is not going to have any problems whatsoever. For starters, she herself has a 40% Berserker built into the character, and as you notice, she doesn't inflict any stat ailments. So because of that, she does 100% more damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment. That, in combination with the fact that she did great set to strong attacks, guard break, and also pierce iron skin, she is going to be an amazing character for Inheritance Trials to the likes of 1000 Year Blood War Ichigo, but she comes with the benefit of also increasing the amount of drops you do get. So she's a farmer, but she's also really damn good at that too. Let's jump into content and see how she does perform. So jumping into some single player IT, for starters, what you should understand is that, again, when it comes to using a character in Inheritance Trials, ideally you want the character to have killer. If they don't, then of course they're going to look a tad bit unimpressive. For Rangiku though, that is not really the case here, because she does go through one of the more, annoying mechanics in this particular mode, Iron Skin. She's able to basically one-shot even though she doesn't have killer. And the fact that she's also increased the amount of jobs you do get make it even better. As you can see, we're going through the quest relatively quick. We are having to use more strong attacks than we should. It's more so because I don't know where the spawns are. This map is kind of weird. But even though we don't have killer, it really doesn't matter. So you can see that I unfortunately just used a strong attack literally like an inch away from when I was supposed to. You did see that we did take a bit of damage, more so from the burn. But lucky for us, we're already back up to full stamina. Let's use the Soul Bomb. Beautiful. The way she's looking at me, making me feel a tad bit different. She gon' make me act up. So in that case, on our first run, we got a 50-second play time. With no killer, that's not too bad. Although we can get faster. As you saw there in our first initial run, we were using strong attacks incorrectly. So let's try and go for a much faster run, because she's definitely capable of doing that. Alright then, so let's see how this goes. So SA2 is a really good strong attack in her case. It's a 3k length beam in front of her, really good. And same goes for the SA1, really good AoE to it. Constant just damage in front of her, which is what you ideally want to have with a character like this. Since she herself can't inflict any stat ailments, we don't want to waste time with strong attacks that are, range collision, for example. Characters like this that don't have any stat ailments, ideally you want to go in and just constantly have melee collision attacks, right? That's ideally what you want to have, and that's what makes someone like Tenta so good for farming IT, for example. In her case, though, it's kind of similar, right? She does have a worse kit when compared to Tesla, but realistically it doesn't matter. This is a good set of strong attacks. An AoE in front of her SA1, a beam SA2, a full screen SA3. You really can't ask much for a character like this, especially when she's going through Iron Skin, and of course also increase the amount of jobs you do get. So in that particular case, in our second run, I definitely feel we were a tad bit faster there. Not by much, to be fair, but that definitely can be improved upon. Either way, a 44-second clear time in single player IZ when she doesn't even have killer is definitely on the more impressive side. But that is only single player IT. Let's take in some of the harder content where ideally you're going to use her to farm Super Link Swap Potions. So next up, we're going to jump into some co-op IT. This is the build that we are using. A big important thing to understand here is that since we want to be at full stamina, we don't want to be inflicted by burn. So we gave her a bonus ability, full stam, and also fire resistance. And then with this particular link of Ruaka, we're getting that full immunity to burn, but we're also getting that extra amount of recharge. And from playing this quest multiple times, I definitely do recommend giving her that burn immunity. It's just really nice, especially in the case of these particular enemies where you get to stand wherever you want to. That extra bit of protection is really good. And in her case, case, you can afford to take a bit of damage too, since you do have the 20% team heal that keeps you safe and also your team safe. And as you can see here in Cobb IT, where we don't even have killer, we're going through this relatively easy. And keep in mind, we have 2 Kanames in our team, which understand he can't inflict any statism, so he's kind of just useless here. And I have seen a lot of comparisons on who's actually better. It's night and day. Rangiku right now is the best farmer for the heart attribute. I will say though, one of the more difficult parts of this particular quest is the boss stages. But again, if you have 4 people playing, constantly doing damage, you're not going to really notice that much of an issue when those bosses come in. As long as everyone's using their strong attacks, you're going to have to spend maybe an extra 10 or so seconds. And as you can see, we have 2 Rangikus playing here. So there's 2 of us doing a lot of damage. Going into the final stage, I'm going to use my SA3 into the 2. And again, we just got to make sure we stay away. Don't want to take any hits because we do have full stamina. Might as well use our soul here just to take out those little mini-mobs. And then all we got to do is just finish up with our attacks. Super easy run. We took a bit of damage near the end, but that's perfectly fine. We've got through majority of the stage without taking damage, and that mainly comes from the fact that you do want to kind of make her so she is immune to burn. I did a few initial runs with this character when I wasn't immune to burn, and I spent too much time thinking about where I need to go, and having that burn immunity was great. Because in this case, as you can see there, with 2 Kanames in our team, granted one of them was actually playing, I do want to emphasize the fact that Kanames are kind of useless right now because they can't inflict any statism. But with 2 Rangikus there playing, we were able to get a 1 minute and 17 second play time, and we're getting all those extra drops. And keep in mind, the 2 Rangiku didn't even have killer. Very important to understand. And with that, we're getting 40 plus super links or potions in any given run, 50 in our last run, and we're also, of course, getting the extra bit of links or potions too. And I guess it's also worth mentioning, because we did have 2 Rangikus in our team, we were, I guess, also getting, what, 140% more coins? Again, the coin increase isn't really that big, but it adds up over time, I guess. You are going to do a lot of farming with this character, so just getting this extra bit of coins, I guess, is okay. Going into our next run, though, we have 4 Rangikus in our team. This is going to be super ideal. Remember, no one has killer here, but it isn't going to stop us from essentially one-shotting all these mobs here. And the range that we have, especially in that SA2, it's really good. SA1's even better than I thought, and originally I thought it was similar to Bruno's SA1, which is like an AoE in front of him, but it's like a vacuum attack. But no, in her case, it's just a straight AoE in front of her. Really good range to it too. In this case, these mobs can be quite annoying, because they do lunge at you like that, for example. And with the range that she does have, she's able to kind of just stay back and, keep it safe for the most part. So let's use our SA1 here, back it up. Again, we can stand wherever we want to. Let's use our SA2. Looks like we're doing 20k per hit, which is actually really good. With Frenzy +1, that's 40k a hit. That's 40k essentially. Unfortunately, did get hit there. That kind of sucks. But we might be able to get back up to full stamina. Probably not. But it's not really that big a deal. This character itself doesn't really have, any full stamina abilities outside of the fact that we're given her links and bonus abilities, for example. But built in, the character doesn't need to stay at full stamina. But we do have the 20% team heal. Maybe we can get back up to full stam. Unfortunately not. We took too much of a hit. But at least we have the option, right? If we took that hit maybe in the first or second room, we probably would have been back up to full stamina. So let's try and use our Sobum now. Unfortunately, not too much damage. Our Sobum really isn't the greatest when it comes to DPS, especially with no killer, and I don't have attention to it. Only 1 out of 5. The Sobum isn't really going to do a lot of damage. If I used it correctly there, it would have been a lot better. But there you go. 4 Rangikus in our team. Once more, a super easy run. And again, a still respectable play time, 1 minute and 30 seconds, right? In that case, you get actually the difference there. We've got significantly more coins, I guess. And again, the drops you come to expect when it comes to inheritance trials, they are somewhat consistent for the most part. 40 plus in each particular run, almost reaching a peak of 50. And our links approaches were also really good here too, getting 37. That's really good. I didn't remember being that high. You know what? Actually, I think someone actually brought a Sun link. Maybe that's why it's a tad bit higher. I could do that too. I do have the Sun link. You definitely can put it onto her. But in this case, when it comes to inheritance trials, I'm also just focused on these super links or drops. So that's why I actually haven't thrown on the Sun link onto her. Next up though, as we wait for the room to fill up, we're currently using Rangiku in the epic raid Acid Wire, more specifically the Awakened version. Keep in mind, she actually is a bonus in both epic raids. So you can use her for the normal one, you can use her for the Awakened one. Remember, she is increasing the amount of links or potions and also drop which you are getting. So a really good character. We're getting extra medals, we're getting extra damage. With the Sun link, I'm getting 10 links or potions from her. So let's jump into it. And actually, in the case of Rangiku, she actually has killer against a particular boss too. So she's an amazing character. You're going to see the boss has 23 million HP. We would already make quick work of it in the first place. Unfortunately, I actually died there. My bad. That's a terrible job on my part. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I have used my Subum, I applied weaken defense, and that's going to allow us to get through this phase relatively fast. Rangiku in general is going to be a great character in any epic raid, but right now in particular, she's really more impressive because of the fact that she does have the killer effect and also the bonus damage. So in that case, a 30-second run, fun enough actually on the slower side, but that's actually my fault. I took a bit of damage too. But regardless, you can see how fast these runs are. And with that, look at the drops that we're getting, right? 50 plus droplets in each attribute and also 50 plus links or potions too. We actually had a Siphon during our lobby, but he was using the Sunset link, so we don't mind it. But yeah, look at those drops. It's great. The clear time, the bonus damage, the medals we're getting to 420 per run. Because she is a bonus, this epic raid does drop more medals than usual. Right now, if you have Rangiku, it's a great time to use her. Jumping into the next one, let's see if we can actually do this again without dying. So we're going to make sure we stay back just to not get caught off in that attack. 10 seconds in, not too bad. I'm going to use my Soul Bomb now. I have applied weaken defense as a bonus ability that's going to allow us just do more damage. That's my recommendation. If you're using Rangiku in epic rage, you do want to give her weaken defense, because in her case, her Soul Bomb doesn't actually inflict any status ailments. So it's kind of useless, right? But with a bonus ability, weaken defense, it lets you do 30% more damage, and that goes for your entire team too. Once more, again, kind of on the slower side to be fair, but still a 25-second run is not bad by any means, especially considering the amount of drops that we are getting, right? Where did Remu get to in our team? We'll gladly take it. He was actually using the Sunset link. That's the kind of cool thing that you can do with those particular links. Once more, good amount of medals, 50 plus links or potions, 40 droplets in each run, and we're also getting 740k coins. And I'm not going to lie, this is kind of embarrassing, but maybe that just goes to show how good she actually is. I wasn't even using my proper build. I was autoing my guild earlier, so I had last ditch links on. I didn't even have my proper build on, and we were still clearing in 25 seconds. So let's correct that. Let's do a single run right now with just her and see how fast it can take us to do 23 million damage against the Acid Wire epic raids. So let's see how this does go. Don't remember that much of the pattern to be fair, but I think I kind of remember it. The last time I did this was years ago. What you're seeing here, though, is that we're doing a good amount of damage now that we actually have the correct accessories on, essentially being able to get to the second phase in just 15 seconds with a 1 out of 5 Rangiku. This is not a duped out character, keep that in mind. And it looks like we're doing 20k per hit on each attack. Let's stand here, they're going to push us back, lovely. And then we move closer. And yeah, let's just use our SA1. Our strong attacks are all going to come back near the same time, and we're going to wait to use our Sovereign, which is going to apply weaken defense, and that's going to allow us to do 30% more damage. So let's use it now. There we go. Let's make sure we don't get too close. And now we get to spam our strong attacks, doing 30k on that attack. Really good. Let's go here. There we go. And just one attack. There we go. 23 million damage done in, what, 50 seconds. Keep in mind, we are getting the 2 times damage output. So on a usual day, it is going to be slower. But that doesn't matter. You're not going to do epic raids with just one character. You're going to be doing epic raids with 6 other players. And as you saw in our first couple runs, even when I wasn't even using the correct builds, we were easily getting like 30-second runs. And the drops that we're getting make it even better. So yeah, Rangiku is easily becoming one of my more favorite characters in the game. I think she's been needed. Not only does she once more fit the niche that has been needed to be filled for many years now, being a hot hollow killer, she's also a really good farmer, which once more the hot attribute is desperately needed. As of right now, they have access to a good set of farmers: Kaname, Nini, Cien, but they are kind of lacking compared to what we have been getting in other attributes. And that's why I wasn't surprised to see a character like this in the hot attribute for the end of the month of June. I was expecting it. I'm happy that it's her because she has a great design, great set of strong attacks, good damage output, a lot of utility, and once more is the ultimate farmer for the heart attribute. If you have her, you can definitely get a use out of her. She's an amazing character to play with, especially right now in the month of June with the fact that she's a bonus character in epic raids, but even then outside of epic raids, IT is where she wants to be used in ideally, and she's an amazing character in there, easily able to get 1 minute runs, 1 minute and 30 runs, public lobbies, 1 out of 5, even when she doesn't have killer. Whenever I'm farming IT now in the future, I'll of course definitely be using this character. In the comments below though, let me know what you guys think about this character. I'm curious to know what you think. I'll see you guys next time, take care, and peace.